Aloha and welcome. We are Read to Me International, and we just wanted to share one of our parent coaching programs called the Read to Me 10 Minutes a Day. So to start us off, we wanted to give a brief introduction on our staff. So hello, my name is Nikki Brown, and I am the Program and Community Outreach Director. We also have Kara Kusunoki, and she is our Executive Director. Carla Takte Tekshera is here as well, and she is our program and site assistant. And we also have Lauren Remular, who is also our program and site assistant. So who is Read to Me International? We are a nonprofit organization, and we've been established since March of 1996. Last year was actually our 25th anniversary. So this year we'll be celebrating our 26th year. So our main goal is basically to promote early literacy through our parent coaching programs. We have a ton of them, but the one we're focusing more on in today's informational session is the Read to Me 10 Minutes a Day program. Here at Read to Me, our mission is to share the love and joy of reading aloud. And our vision is to ensure that every child is read aloud to every day. So I did mention we have multiple parent coaching programs. The one that we are focusing on and that we facilitate are basically called Read to Me 10. So that's the Read to Me 10 Minutes a Day. This one is our 6-week coaching program, and we'll go into that a little more as we go through the PowerPoint. But I did want to share our other programs, which are just so beautiful as well. We have our Haku Mo'olelo program, where parents compose, illustrate, and record their own storybooks. We have Read, Revive, and Restore, where parents audio record a book, and then that audio recording gets sent with a copy of the book to their keiki. And we also host readers rallies. So this is where we just basically have a day filled with reading aloud, music, activities, and entertainment, just to get everyone into the mood and into the groove of reading aloud. But as I mentioned, today we wanted to talk more and share more with you about our Read to Me 10 Minutes a Day program. So this program is a 6-week parent coaching program. We meet once a day for 6 weeks, and that all determines or is determined by the host group or organization that decides to work with us. So it can be any day of the week, whatever your preference is. We are flexible and will work with you to decide which day will work best. It is a parent coaching program, so we are asking that only adults attend the workshops. So any parents, teachers, and caregivers of children between the ages of 0 through 8 are welcomed. I know for this particular cohort that we're working with in spring 2022, they have asked to have us recruit parents, teachers, and caregivers of children between the ages of 0 through 5. So that's what you're seeing on the screen right now. The length of each workshop is 2 hours for each session. So we meet for 6 weeks, 1 day a week, or yes, 1 day a week for 6 weeks for 2 hours each workshop. And then in that workshop, you'll learn strategies on how to effectively read aloud to your children. So whether that's introducing them to reading or having them continue to read and love reading, we will teach you all the tips and strategies on how to engage with your child through reading aloud. All materials from this program is completely free. So everything from books to the activities to the different learning pamphlets, all of those things will be given to our participants for free. And then, of course, along with all of the materials, we do encourage each participant to build their home library. So you will be receiving up to 10 free books to build your home libraries with. So why read aloud? So for children between the ages of 0 through 5 years old, it really is about teaching them the learning fundamentals of reading. So for our younger kids around infant toddler stage, it's basically learning all of the mechanics of a book. So how do you hold a book? We read from left to right on the text and up down. So just simple little things like that is being, taught and nurtured through our program. We introduce new and also help to expand vocabulary for children between 0 and 5 years old. They're being exposed and introduced to all of these words, and reading aloud really helps to expose them to all the different types of words that they wouldn't normally hear on a day-to-day basis. And then, of course, helping to build a love for reading. Because once they get to the 5 to 11-year-old age group, that's when we see that they're wanting to be more independent readers. Although they are turning into independent readers at this stage, we here at Read to Me still encourage our parents to read aloud to their keiki, no matter what age they are. Even if they're in high school, please continue to read aloud to them. But yes, so keeping reading fun, keeping them engaged in that reading by reading aloud to them and being there side by side, just exploring the books together. And of course, overall, no matter what age, it helps to strengthen the bond between the reader and the listener. So there was a study done by Dr. Hart and Risley from the University of Kansas that found that children who were read aloud to every single day between the ages of 0 to 4 heard over 30 million words than children who did not get read to from 0 to 4 years old. So 30 million words, that's a really big difference. That's a really huge gap. And so the Doctors Hart and Risley found that the way to close that gap is basically just to read aloud every single day. And then by the time they get to age 4, they would have heard over 30 million words. So that's pretty great, right? Okay. So I did want to share a video that we interviewed some of our past participants. So we wanted you to really hear from them and get just some sort of perspective on what they gathered from our program. So we'll take some time now to watch this video together.
My name is Kristen. I have 6 kids and I'm from YNI, and this is actually my youngest. He's Aiden. He's 4 years old. One day, a hungry fox was preparing to hunt for his dinner. I never got read to when I was a child, but when I got older and I had these younger kids, I made sure I read at least once, a book every night.
Before I came into the program, I did not realize how important reading out loud was. I knew reading was important, just not reading out loud. My 9-year-old has a hard time reading, so sitting and reading a book became a challenge, almost like pulling teeth. The enjoyment of reading wasn't there.
The challenge with the kids was just having them want to sit down and listen to me read the story. Before it was like, let's go read a book, But after I did the program, and then I read to them now with more, I bring it to life and more, expression. They asking me, let's read a book, So that's the difference from then and now. Before it was like, no. Now it's like, can you read a book to us? Yeah.
Going through the RTM10 class, it opened up a whole new world, a whole new way of reading to my children and really keeping them engaged.
I knew that I wanted to raise my kids in a home where we love to read. The biggest lesson I've learned so far is lead by example. Show that you love reading the book, get into the story, and don't be afraid to just show that this is how mommy loves reading, and I'm showing it to you guys, and they're able to ask questions, and I know that in the long run they're going to be able to foster that love of reading on their own.
With the RTM and the other parents in the class, you can relate to one another. They remind you that, hey, you're not the only one struggling with your child to read. She's here with me, she understands, she's been through the same thing I've been through. And the vibe and the setting of the class is so opening and welcoming. They're not judgmental. You can go in there and you can share your story and they'll be like, hey, yeah, we get it, we understand. Let's try this. Let's try something else. If this is not working, hey, I do this for my kids. It's good that you can relate to one another, and it reassures you that, hey, we're gonna figure this all out together, and at the end of the day, we're walking out of that class with a smile on our face thinking, hey, I'm so excited to go home, read this book to my child, and see what comes out of it.
Once you implement just one thing, that's just going to grow because you're going to see the reflection, how you read that line, how you introduced the book this time. Whoever you're reading to, your children are going to respond to that, and that's going to encourage you to keep going deeper in the rest of the tips that you learned at RTM10.
It builds a bond, like when you read with your children, and it helps your children and you converse about the book, and then it kind of leads into like other conversations. When my husband got involved, that's when I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, like it's intense to see that my husband, who dislikes reading for various reasons, kind of get out of his shell. It's good to see that, just by example, like when he watches me read to the kids and stuff, he tries to do it as well.
I'm glad that somebody acknowledges that reading is so important every day. And reading starts at home. And I never knew that. But now I know, so I think it's a lifelong lesson I have learned. That's something I can take with me and make sure my children learn that as well.
I'm committed to encourage them in a positive way, and I already see the changes in them, just for being in the program 2 weeks now.
In the 2 weeks, a lot has changed because I noticed it started with me, my own attitude. My way of teaching him had to change as well. I noticed that maybe I should pick up, open up the book and read to them and have them join in with me and have daddy join in and have baby sister join in. So it wasn't just me reading, it was all of us reading together. Every Tuesday after my class, he's like, so what books you got today? You brought anything home for us? He's so excited to look for it, and we're only in 2 weeks. And that's the first time I've ever seen him happy to get a book.
Today, reading a book is a must. Every night before bed, it's a must to read a storybook. This must be my lucky day. Yep, the end.
I love that video. So yes, just hearing from our participants, getting, that full picture of what they got out of the program. I'm hoping that that is, in itself enough to convince parents to please join our program and be a part of your children's reading and development. But yes, and also I wanted to share just a little side note that both Carla and I are past Read to Me 10 participants as well. And just recently, we were just so blessed that we came upon this program and they were hiring, and we were like, yes, sign us up. So yes, again. Okay, so from the Read to Me 10 program, there are some outcomes and goals that we are hoping to strive for with our participants. So of our participants, we are hoping 80% at least across the board, that 80% of them have more confidence while reading aloud. 80% of them read to their keiki at least 3 times a week. And with those readings, doing them for at least 5 minutes per opportunity. And then we are doing something new by incorporating dialogic reading strategies now with our Read Aloud activities. We also encourage them to incorporate new Read Aloud tips as they're doing their Read Aloud at home. And then, of course, having 80% of them share their reflections and their experiences when they take the learning back home, and just share with us what went well, what could have gone better, and just helping us to really grow our program in that way. So this is a sample from one of the groups that we're working with this spring 2022 semester. So we are working with the Farrington DOE Complex group, and for them, they specifically wanted to meet every Tuesdays for 6 weeks, beginning January 25th through to March 1st of 2022. They also wanted to hold their classes in the evenings, so we have it scheduled between 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Every Tuesdays. You do have an option of having it delivered virtually or in person, but due to the COVID-19 situation, we are, very open, and we have actually converted our physical delivery into a virtual delivery so that we can continue to meet and also keep everyone safe. So we do meet virtually through Zoom, and we also hold all of our class materials, links, surveys, all of those things on Google Classrooms. So we share with the participants on how to set that up and also to utilize it when they're in there. And then, of course, the weekly materials that are given to each participant for the Farrington group. The first kit, we meet with them in person just to introduce ourselves, and also just to, take that opportunity for them to see us in person, and we can give them their kit and answer any questions that they have. And then all the rest of the kits for the rest of the weeks will be mailed to their mailing address. So we can either do that, or we can also prepare all the kits ahead of time and drop them off to the partnered organization or the host group, and you can decide to distribute it how you want to as well. Okay. But some of the expectations for our participants, we do ask that participants attend at least 5 of the 6 classes in order to be considered a RTM10 graduate. And then for that missed class, we do ask them to contact us just to do a makeup for that class and to be caught up with anything that they may have missed. And then they do go home with homework assignments. So these are really just helping them to implement what they learned in class at home. So it's really just a checklist of things to do, like read to your child for 5 minutes, or talk to your child about this book and ask them a question pertaining to that book. So just little tasks that they can check off. And once they're done, we're just asking them to upload that homework sheet to the Google Classroom. And then, of course, to be considered for graduation, we do ask our participants to perform a live read aloud to us during graduation week, which is the 6th week of the program. Okay. So if you are interested in participating, Carla does have the registration link. We can always email that to everybody. And also, if you have any questions at all about Read to Me 10 and you want more information, please feel free to contact me. I am Nikki Brown. There's my email address right there, nikki@readtomeintl.org. Okay. And then, of course, check us out on our website. It's www.readtomeintl.org. We are also on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Our handle is @readtomeintl. Okay, mahalo for tuning in, and I hope you have a good one. Take care.